So now, as it relates to stewardship, as you guys remember last week, Rich introduced the first of these 5 conversations that we're tailoring around the 5 money personalities. Rich is a self-confessed or proud risk taker. I, on the other hand, am what we would be calling a security seeker. A security seeker is somebody who can't help but think about ensuring that we have enough. And I would rather put off what might feel good today to ensure that I have a safe and better tomorrow. On the one hand, as a security seeker, I ought to be very comfortable at St. Stephen's. As Mother Whitney alluded to last weekend, we are among the wealthiest parishes in the diocese if you think about our endowments, both restricted and unrestricted. We have a gorgeous campus. We have beautiful facilities. We have all the resources we need. And so it's easy to rest confident that this church will be around for another 250 or 300 years into the future. But on the other hand, if you think about this world that we've talked about as kind of a post-Christendom world, where Sundays are no longer protected the way they once were, where we have many challenges toward an increasingly secular society, it is not entirely clear that this church, at least the church the way that we know it, this parish, will sustain for another couple of hundred years. We can't just rely on the confidence that since we have been here for generations, we will be here for generations. And in this vein, I think about security seeking in terms of the investments we're making today to secure our congregation and our community for generations to come. Investing in our youth and family ministry is about securing the life of this congregation for our children and for our grandchildren. The work that Sarah is doing and has done around intergenerational worship is about bringing new thinking to how we build a spiritual life and spiritual practices among young people. Events like our family faith nights, events like intergenerational worship and how we're thinking differently about church school, these are about how we make church real in a different world than that in which I grew up in or perhaps you grew up in. Funding our music ministry isn't merely about ensuring that we have gorgeous music. It's about inspiring people. It's about opening those doors out there and giving people a reason to poke their heads in and perhaps be awed and perhaps be called to worship and how we grow our community together. Things like carols by candlelight and the jazz mass that Elsie's going to debut in a few weeks, those are about bringing new people into this building, new people who might be inspired. Even investments in things like Realm or our technology stack or our administrative budget, they might seem mundane, but they are ways that we're able to connect together and nurture this community, and they have proven invaluable over the last 18 months, and they'll be critical to how we sustain this church going forward. And even things like paying the heating bills, keeping the electricity going, those can feel like just administrative trivia, but they're actually about ensuring that we're able to nurture this community. Last Advent, we were fortunate enough to be able to open the doors and to let people come in for a moment of quiet prayer at a particularly stressful and challenging time. That cost more in terms of heating. It cost more in terms of electricity. It turns out that opening your doors in December, not the most energy efficient thing that one can do. But, I was in here a few times and you saw faces you hadn't seen before come in and kneel and spend 30 minutes connecting to God. And that's a powerful thing about how we secure our collective life together going forward. I say all this because stewardship isn't just about donating or paying our bills. It is a way of securing our future together. It's about keeping this church alive for the next 50, 100, 250 years, the way we all know and love it. So last week you heard from Rich, a risk taker, and now you've heard from me, a security seeker. Next week you'll hear from somebody else with a different money personality. The truth is that St. Stephen's needs all types in order for us to be effective in ministry, and we're counting on you to participate in our stewardship campaign this year. Thanks.